I was sitting here looking at the rankings, and it just occurred to me that, over the 30 years of the UFC and no holds barred before that, there are these transitions. You had a lot of wrestlers, and then the strikers came in, and that was a whole transition. The karate guys were kind of out. There's been many transitions over the years. The big transition that's coming is the young guys that have trained MMA. Not necessarily wrestling or sambo or BJJ or boxing, but kind of all of it. I think a good example of that might be someone like Umar Nurmagomedov. Right now, he's number 13. He just went up 1 because Mario Batista came in and Ricky Simone went down 2. It's going to be interesting. I would guess by the end of 2025, we'll really see it. Or we'll be in the midst of it, I guess, is probably what I'm thinking. It won't be much longer now. Probably by the end of this year, you'll see, you can see guys that already are here. Umar's a great example, but he has all these established people above him. It won't be long, and Umar's going to be up there. And it's not just him. There are many of them. He's just a good example because he's on the page. If you don't know his story, obviously he's Dagestani. He's Khabib's cousin. And his brother is the champ in Bellator for 155, Usman Nurmagomedov. These guys, they have the wrestling because they wrestle with Khabib and everybody else every day, Islam, all these different people. So they're excellent at the wrestling part, the sambo part. They've done sambo. But they are, I have to go look it up. I think it's Santo. Can't remember what it's called. It's a little bit different than sambo. It's kind of a Chinese kicking art. If I remember right, that's what they are more versed in. But they also went to Thailand, did some kickboxing, all that stuff. That's why Usman and Umar fight much different than Khabib or Islam. If you watch their styles, they're very different. They have a lot of the same base because they trained with Abdul Nap, but they have other influences and they're much more well-rounded. It took Khabib a while to get the stand-up, the striking. And by the end of his career, he was getting really good. And that's from Javier Mendez, training boxing with, or kickboxing with him a lot. Personally training together. He's talked about that before. They both have talked about that. But it won't be too much longer, and these guys like Umar, and there's a bunch of them that are coming up. They're just hitting the bottom of the rankings, and once they get there, these guys are so well-rounded. Once they get, 10 or more fights, which a lot of them have, and you see them starting to progress up to the top. And it's not just UFC. It's Bellator, PFL, all of them, all the places, ACA, KSW, all over the world. You can see them if you watch the promotions from around the world. You can see them coming, and they're putting a lot of pressure. They're taking out top guys. They're just starting to get into the rankings. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait.